Yo, what's up guys? As you can see by the title, today we are doing a mid-season championship table prediction. We're closing in on the end of December, middle of December, which is about halfway through the season. A bit earlier than halfway, but I thought I'm going to do a mid-season table prediction. If you didn't catch it early in the season, I obviously gave a prediction for the championship table, 1 to 24, before the season, before a ball was kicked. And that got quite good views, so I want to go for another one today, and then I'll be doing one at the end of the season, looking back, seeing how badly I did. Before I give you my update prediction, I'm going to put on my screen to this side of the table that I predicted at the start of the season and see how far off we really are. And hopefully, if I'm good, the table that I predicted should be on my left. I predicted the bottom three to be Millwall, Wigan and Charlton. I've got one of them right. Wigan are actually in the bottom three at the moment. Millwall and Charlton are not. Outside, you've got QPR, Reading, Blackburn and Hull. Reading are down there. Blackburn and Hull and QPR are not so far down as what I predicted. After that, you've got Birmingham, Luton, Barnsley. Birmingham's up there. Luton and Barnsley are further down. Then you've got Bristol City, Sheff Wednesday and Stoke City all sat in mid-table. Bristol City are higher, Sheffield Wednesday are higher, and Stoke City are down bottom. The next ones are Preston in 11th, Derby in 10th, Forest in 9th. Forest are in the playoffs, Derby are a bit lower than that, Preston are about there, so they're not too far off. Middlesbrough are put in 8th, who were actually down bottom near the relegation zone, so that one's quite far off. Cardiff in 7th, I think they're just around there, just a bit below 7th, so that's a good shout. In the playoffs, I've got Swansea. Swansea are playing today, but they're not actually in the playoffs. West Brom got the chance to go top as I'm recording this, so I put them 5th, so I'm not too far for West Brom. Huddersfield I put 4th, that's a bad shout. They're down in about 19th, 20th. Brentford I put 3rd, they're actually creeping their way into the playoffs, Brentford, as time goes by, so putting them up there is not too far off. Leeds are put in 2nd. They currently sit 1st as I record this. And I put Fulham at the top of the table. And they currently sit 3rd or 4th, I do believe. So as you can see by the table, some of them are very bad. So your likes of Barnsleys and your Huddersfields and your Stokes and Middlesbroughs. The ones that you expected to do well are not so well. And what I put are the opposite. And but then you got your likes of Leeds, West Brom, Brentford, the ones that are doing quite well, which I predicted quite well. So I don't think that's too bad of a prediction. But what I'm doing is next to or over the table that you can see right now, I'm going to be putting my updated table prediction of how I think the season will end based on what it is right now. So I guess you can leave your top 6 and your bottom 3 also in the comments. But I'm going to go on to now telling you my updated mid-season table prediction. Now guys, we're on to what I think the season is going to end after me looking and preserving on the first half of the season. For the bottom 3, I'm going to put Wigan in 24th, Luton in 23rd, and my team, Barnsley, in 22nd. I think them 3 teams will be relegated this year, starting off with Wigan at the bottom. They've got some good players within the team like Kiefer Moore, Jamal Lowe, Sam Morsey, a bunch of players like that. Windass, I do believe. But I do believe that they will finish bottom. This is just my prediction, so don't go too hard on me, guys. I think Wigan will finish 24th. I think Luton also got some good players, but won't be strong enough still this year. I think they'll finish 23rd. And my team, Barnsley, will finish 22nd. I don't think we'll be good enough to stay up this year, and I think we'll be going down with Wigan and Luton. Next, I'm going to put Reading in 21st. A team that I usually hit and miss throughout the seasons. The star man is Puskas, I do believe. He got a hat-trick the other night. 2 games ago, he got a hat-trick. We actually do have Reading next when I'm recording this. I'm not sure when this will go up, but I think Reading will finish 21st. They'll avoid relegation. Middlesbrough, I'm going to put in 20th. They're going lower than expectations this year. They just missed out on the playoffs this year. They've got some quality in their team when I went to watch them last week when they beat us 1-0. Got some quality of the likes of Tavernier, Ashley Fletcher, Assombalonga, some very good players within their team. I don't think they'll go down. I think they're too good to go down, but I do think they'll finish quite low. I think Middlesbrough will finish 20th. Next is Charlton, who came up with us and Luton. They started the season off really well, pulling off some big results, but recently they've slowly slipped down the table. I think they'll finish down roughly where they are now. They started to do well, and then they got Lyle Taylor injured, and they still carried on doing well, but recently they've been took over by some better owners, or they hated the other owners or something like that. But now they've got better owners or something, I do believe. But I do think they'll finish down where they are now, and I think Charlton will finish 19th. Next is another team like Middlesbrough, a very good team, some very good players. Came down from the Premier League last year. I tipped them to finish 4th this year. It's Huddersfield Town, who I'm putting in 18th. I think Huddersfield will finish 18th. Like many of us, every team in this league, they've got some quality players in the team. They haven't started too well. There was in the relegation zone at one point. They've slowly moved their way out of the relegation zone. Like I said, I don't think they'll be relegated, but I think they'll be finishing below the mid-table. I think Huddersfield will finish 18th. In 17th, I'm putting Millwall, the team I backed to finish bottom. I know they lost 2 key players last year. I can't remember their names, but our ex-striker has been banging goals in for fun this season. Tom Bradshaw has been a very good asset to their team. I do believe they're a lot higher than what I'm putting them at the moment, but I do believe Millwall will end up finishing at 17th this season. Next is another team doing a lot less than what they should be, Derby County. I do believe that they're about 14th, 15th at the moment, but I am putting them 16th this year. Obviously, they've lost Frank Lampard. I think it was Frank Lampard. This is a big shout, as you guys know. They are getting Wayne Rooney, but I don't think it'll make much of an impact. Now, I still think they'll finish just below mid-table. I think next year will be the year for Derby, but not this year. I'm putting Derby at 16th. Next team is Stoke at 15th, a team I'm backing to climb the table. A team like Stoke shouldn't need to be climbing any table. Last year, they did under expectations. This year, they started under expectations. They started a bit of a run of form after the Beatles, picked up a few wins, doing a lot less than what they should be. They've got some great players like Joe Allen, McLean, that other winger, Tom Ince, I do believe his name is. Some very good players in the team. But once again, another team underperforming. There's that many good teams in this league. You're always going to get a couple of big ones that are underperforming, but I think Stoke will finish 15th. Next is QPR, one of them teams that never seems to go up, never seems to go down from my perspective. Banging them in 14th. We do have them next Saturday. They've got one of our ex-players, Josh Scowen. Standout player is Eze, I do believe his name is. They did start pretty well in the season, being in the playoffs a couple of times, but they have slowly dropped off, and I think they'll finish just below mid-table in 14th. Next is a team that I do believe will finish higher than what they're positioned. I do believe they're below mid-table, but I think they'll finish one place off mid-table in 13th, which is Blackburn. When I watched them against us, they wasn't the best. When they beat us 3-2, I do believe, scored late on, just like Cardiff did against us. But their main man, Bradley Dack, I'm not sure if they'll lose him in January or if they'll lose him at the end of the season, but he is a very influential player to them. Likes of Adam Armstrong and stuff like that. They've got some good players, but Bradley Dack is their standout man, and I reckon he'll help them finish 13th. The next team is not a one-man team, but they've got the star man. It's Hull City, who I'm putting bang on mid-table in 12th. Hull City, you know who it is. The main man, Jared Bowen. I do believe he's out of contract this year, but he's a very good player. We played against us when we beat them 3-1. We did limitize him to what he could do on the pitch, but his last game he went and scored 2 goals to help them beat Stoke. A very good player, very good talent. I'm not sure how long he'll be at Hull. A lot of people are saying he shouldn't be at Hull much longer, but while he's there, I think he'll help them get mid-table. Moving into the top half, going on to Birmingham. We played them early in the season. They beat us 2-0, a very good asset. They've got there's a young lad coming through their ranks that's played a couple of games. I can't remember his name. They've got 2 good foreign strikers, I do believe. I think they've got 1 good strong foreign striker that scored against us. Mark Roberts, ex-player, once again, but I'm putting Birmingham in 11th. Sheffield Wednesday, a team that always thinks they're going to get into the playoffs, and for me, obviously, rivals, I'm glad they don't. But another team that, like many, think they should be getting in playoffs, but never really seem to get in there, or never really seem to make that push. They're always there or thereabouts. Sheffield Wednesday, I'm putting in 10th. For me, it always seems like they've got the same squad, but the squad is good. They've got the hardcore players like Fletcher up front, Forestieri, Barry Bannon, Hutchinson, Reach, I do believe they've still got. Westwood, I think they've still got him in net. But yeah, some good players. And now got Gary Monk, a very solid manager, but I don't think he'll get him in the playoffs, and I think Sheff Wednesday will finish 10th. A team that has just been battered 5-1 at the time of recording this against West Brom is Swansea in 9th. We played Swansea, we drew 1-1 against them. They didn't impress me when they came to our place to say they're a team that are up the table. They have been in the playoffs for a bit at the start of the season, but I do believe they won't get in the playoffs, and Swansea will finish 9th. The team shortly in front of them is their Welsh rivals, who we lost to the other day, 3-2, Cardiff City. They've got some quality in that team that should be pushing for the playoffs. They could get in the playoffs, but I don't think they will. I think they'll finish 8th. Cardiff, they've got some class players in their squad. Got players like Callum Patterson, Mendes Liang, I can't remember his name. Rowles in the midfield. That centre back who's a monster. Aidan Flint, 6'4", no 6'7", I think. He's a monster. But yeah, I think Cardiff will finish 8th. Another team that's always there and thereabouts that should be in the playoffs, but I don't think will be in the playoffs, is Preston North End. They've had a very good season this year. Up to a point, they were the top goal scorers. I'm not sure if they are now. Sean Maguire. They lost Callum Robertson last year to Sheffield United, but that doesn't really seem to faze them. Bars and Chukin, or someone up front who's a good player. Brad Potts from us. Some very good players in their team, but I think they'll just miss out on the playoffs and they'll finish 7th. On to the top 6. In 6th place, I'm putting Bristol City. A team that were linked with Leeds as striker, I do believe, that Eddie Nketiah. They've got some good players like Deju, who's up front. Josh Brownhill, who's a standout player. Andy Wyman, I think, still there. He's a good player, and I think Bristol City will get 6th place. In 5th, I'm off for Nottingham Forest, another team that should always be in playoffs, but sometimes miss. But I think this year, they'll be in the playoffs. We went to their place earlier in the season. They beat us 1-0. They were a good team on the counter-attack, a very good team on the break. Some nice 1-2 passing, impressive play from them. Their home fans were incredible. In 4th, I'm off for a team that I backed earlier in the season to finish in the playoffs, and I'm going for it again. Brentford, they recently put 7 by Luton, and they've been on the rise this year. They didn't start off too well, not scoring too many goals, but then they're slowly moved up. I think they're outside the playoffs at the moment, but I do believe Brentford will get in the playoffs and finish 4th. In 3rd place, the team that I tipped to win the league at the start of the season, the team that we beat on the opening day of the season, is Fulham. They're currently sitting 3rd now, I do believe, and I think they'll finish 3rd come end of the season. And then top 2 is no other than West Brom and Leeds. I'm putting Leeds top, West Brom 2nd. We've played them both this season, both different class of teams. Leeds came to our place, beat us 2-0. We gave them a really good game, but quality sides, quality fans. Same with West Brom. We went to their game, their ground, 2-0 up, ended up drawing 2-2. They've got the quality to pull it back, and that's why I think them two will be top 2 in the Championship become the end of the season. So that is my mid-season table prediction. If you made it this far, you're a legend. Subscribe. We're on the road to 1.8k, on the road to 2k. I'll be doing a review, looking back on these at the end of the season, seeing how well I did when the season actually finishes and the tables are finished. But yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe. This took ages to make, so if you could help me out and subscribe, that'd be class.